Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, I am doing a collective reading and energy update channeled right at the beginning of this new year 2023. Although these readings are technically timeless, so always use your own intuition above all else and take whatever messages resonate with you whenever they reach you. So the first card to come out here is the Temple Path in the upright position. And I'm seeing something right away about the month of December for someone. Now, this might just be for a specific group of people, but I'm hearing that for someone I'm channeling here, the month of December was a really challenging but really expansive month for you in certain ways. And in fact, the entire year of 2022 may have had those themes of being really, I'm hearing soul-wrenching, really challenging. I'm feeling a lot of raw emotions that may have come up during the year. But at the same time, you have undergone immense expansion through all of that. So I am going to reshuffle the cards here. And here we have the third eye chakra in the upright position. By the way, the beautiful message to come out right as I flipped over the Temple Path card was, you are on the right path. And I don't know who needed to hear that message, but I felt it coming through with a lot of emotion today, and I'm just feeling a wave of goosebumps confirming that. With the card, the sixth chakra, which is the third eye chakra, the number 40 is really standing out to me. And I'm hearing that biblical story about Noah's Ark and the flood that covered the earth, and particularly the number 40 connecting with the 40 days and 40 nights of rain. And it almost feels as though you are the one who has been through that 40 days and 40 very long nights of rain, a season of your life where things have felt very dismal, very dark, where perhaps you felt just like Noah in that ark, as though you've been encapsulated in something, kind of entrapped in something, exactly where you are meant to be from a divine perspective. But from a human perspective, you might judge yourself as being stuck. And it's ironic because, using the Bible story as a metaphor, if Noah were to believe that by remaining in that boat, he was somehow stuck, and he were to try to push himself out into the water, the timing wouldn't be right. And by doing that, he might be putting himself in some kind of a negative situation. In your case, it feels as though your ego at times, especially this year, may have been telling you that you were stuck in some kind of a cocoon. Maybe this was your own loneliness. Maybe this was feeling as though things in your life weren't moving forward the way that your ego thought they should have, or on the timing of other people. Maybe this was you feeling as though you were in a situation, a relationship, a place that wasn't necessarily fulfilling you, and yet you felt as though in that moment it was where you were meant to be, and you couldn't quite explain it. And I'm hearing to trust every place you have felt stuck in this year, which is a really strange message, but to trust that when you feel as though you are stagnant, you have been divinely placed exactly where you are amidst that quote unquote stuckness, against that or amidst that stagnancy. You've been planted there for a reason, because just like Noah in the biblical story, everything is happening in this divine timing for you. And just like Noah received the sign when the flood was over of the bird coming with the olive branch, letting him know that there was land, that it was safe for him to land. And I'm using these words specifically because the divine is trying to show you that when it is time for you to land somewhere, you will know, you will be given some kind of a clear sign, and you will feel that in your being as a kind of clarity. And until then, nothing is going wrong. Everything is happening in divine timing, divine ordering, and you are on the right path. I just strongly feel someone needed to hear that message, particularly as we close out this year of 2022 and shift into 2023. Now, I am going to be reshuffling the cards because the third eye chakra card really connects with psychic gifts, abilities, sensitivity, and I feel that someone I'm channeling here has always been a highly sensitive person their entire physical lifetime. But recently, particularly within this year, your spiritual sensitivity, meaning your spiritual gifts and abilities, have actually been ramped up to a greater degree. Yeah, here we have cracked open, rock bottom, surrender to the alchemy of life. It's almost as though through experiencing a lot of raw emotions this year, I'm hearing there may have been some very triggering experiences this year for you as well. But through all of this, your heart and your energy field has been cracked open to this heightened sensitivity, which my guides are showing me that although society tends to label sensitivity as a negative, you may have been called too sensitive, too emotional in your past. This heightened sensitivity increases your capacity in both directions, meaning you have greater capacity for holding a lot of deep, dark, raw, challenging emotions and feeling them to a more intense degree. But you equally have an increased capacity for growth, for expansion, for exhilaration, for lightness. And I'm hearing your guides say that when you limit the lows, you also limit the highs. And this year, you may have undergone some testing, some very so-called low points emotionally or in your life. And yet, these moments are the very carved out places that are now capable of holding more energy, holding more light, more creative power, more potential, more abundance. And I feel like this has actually been a theme throughout your life as well. Because for someone I'm channeling, you are someone who has been carrying a lot of shadow their entire life and carving out this shadow, transmuting that shadow into light within yourself that is now this beautiful, radiant aura that you are carrying around you. We also have the card karmic relationships, Orion energy, polarity, soul growth, conflicts. And in connection with this double mission, and I very often take this double mission card to actually be a twin flame card. So some of you may be on a twin flame path as well. But what I'm really picking up through these two cards together is that, first of all, if you are on a twin flame path, karmic energies are being cleared out in your twin flame connection. Now, this could be karmic patterns within your twin, within yourself. These could be intergenerational traumatic patterns that we call family karma. This could equally be actual karmic relationships in your life that are being cleared out. So I'm literally seeing someone who is working a janitorial position, using a mop to push this trash that's kind of lying in a hallway. And it almost feels like this year has been really getting to the heart of your connections and relationships and clearing all the excess, clearing out everything that is not heart open, that is not soul aligned. And throughout this process, I'm also seeing that it could have been highly triggering, because if this karmic clearing took place within and connected to your twin flame, a high-level soulmate, especially someone romantically, I'm seeing that within these connections, you may have had a lot of really deep, heavy karmic patterns brought to the surface in a really profound and possibly triggering way in order for them to be illuminated, faced, confronted, and ultimately cleared. Now, if this is happening or has been happening outside of one of these relationships, meaning there may be some external karmic relationships, friendships, etc., that you've been, I'm hearing, seeing the truth of, or that perhaps your twin flame, if you are a twin flame, you may be connected to a twin counterpart who is seeing the truth of these karmic relationships. Because these cards are sitting on the third eye and the throat chakra, I'm also getting the message that the truth throughout this year especially has been revealed to you, has really been put in your face about patterns within family members that may be karmic in nature, patterns within your friendship relationships, patterns even within yourself. There may have been a lot of introspection throughout this year, patterns in your twin flame connection. Many things are being brought to the surface and really pushed in your face so that you can no longer ignore, repress, or deny them. And shifting into 2023, we're going to be asked to stand by the knowing that we've come into about these karmic relationships, about these karmic patterns. I'm seeing like this barricade, and it's almost as though this shift from 2022 into 2023 has created this kind of barricade where we are no longer able to consciously go back, meaning we cannot any longer retain this heightened level of consciousness while at the same time ignoring or repressing or denying the truth that has been revealed to us through these people, relationships, connections. I'm hearing disrespect. So very specifically for some of you, there may be certain karmic connections or even soul connections carrying a lot of karmic wounding that may have disrespected you in the year of 2022. And if that is the case, those patterns of disrespect, patterns of lack of reciprocation, whatever these patterns are, patterns of unbalance in your connections, have been brought to light so fiercely and so profoundly that it's really been a solidified knowing through your third eye. I'm hearing you see them clearly now, and you can't go back to forgetting. You can't go back to blindness, because you're being pushed into this heightened expansion, which requires of you a fierce connectedness to what your intuition has so clearly revealed to you about these persons, people, connections, situations, environments. And in 2023, we are really going to be shifted into acting in alignment with our own truth that has been, again, revealed to us in recent months or years. But specifically, I'm seeing that karmic relationships, connections, and patterns are in the process of being dissolved, giving way to soul-based connections. Now, part of this is happening because of our shift from 3D to 5D consciousness. Because of this shift in consciousness, We are becoming lighter. Our DNA structure is becoming more crystalline. And as a result of this, we are no longer capable of carrying the weight, carrying the burden of these very unbalanced, heavy, or karmic connections and situations, regardless of whether these are unbalanced twin flame situations, unbalanced soulmate connections, or purely karmic, unbalanced relationships. Because again, our twin flame and soulmate connections, although they have the potential to be beautiful, they also do have the potential to carry karmic patterning within them, karmic wounding within them that must be dissolved, that must be healed in order to allow us to shift into the healed version of those soulmate or twin flame connections. And for many of us, we've been dealing with a very high level soulmate or twin flame situation where the potential for shared expansion is very great, but the potential for triggering and pain and heartache is equally great. That is just the nature of this planet of duality that we incarnate into. However, for many of us, the heavier side, the darker side of that equation has become extremely challenging, extremely burdening. And we found that as we have chosen to ascend, to expand ourselves, we have outgrown the unhealed version of these people, relationships, and connections. Now, this isn't to say that the healed version of these connections doesn't exist, because in fact, in most cases, there is a potential healed version of that person, connection, relationship available to us on this higher timeline that we are rising to and aligning with. However, we do have free will as humans as well, so this requires these soul partners or twin flame partners, counterparts, to choose to heal that karmic patterning within themselves and rise to meet us on those higher timelines, whereas we are there holding the space for them now. And yet, when I say holding the space, I don't mean waiting. I don't mean sacrificing, because self-sacrifice is actually a blockage to unconditional love. What I mean is, we are holding space for them in the sense that we are refusing to lower ourselves to a wounded, unbalanced, lower vibrational version of that connection, simply for the sake of remaining more connected in the 3D physical world. We are choosing to see and to hold the version of that relationship that is healed, that is lighter, that is higher vibrational. And if that version, that higher version of the person or relationship isn't accessible to us at the moment in the physical 3D world, then we are choosing to allow that door to be closed for the time being. We are, in essence, choosing unconditional self-love by choosing ourselves. So ultimately, this brings me all the way back full circle to that cracked open card. And what this card is saying to me now is that really, and wow, this is a powerful download for someone listening. I'm tearing up just channeling this because I know this year has been very challenging for some of you listening. That cracked openness you've been feeling, those raw emotions that have come through, those challenging experiences, regardless of how it may have felt or looked on the surface, what has really been happening is that you have been being cracked open to your own depths of self-love. You have been in the process of deeply reconnecting with your innermost self. And in some cases, this has required you to face truths about ways in which you have been restricting yourself from your own beautiful, self-loving energy. the ways in which you've been allowing yourself to be disrespected. You've been allowing your dreams to be put on hold. You've been allowing yourself to participate in self-sacrificial or unbalanced love connections or friendships or workplace environments. And as these patterns are being illuminated, you are being fully cracked open to your own potential to love yourself more deeply, more profoundly, more freely, and more openly than ever before. And ultimately, this cracked openness to your own self-love is really bringing you into an energy of abundance, because what we find in this 5D earth is that everything is connected. Nothing is truly compartmentalized. And what I mean by that is, in 3D earth reality or perception, we used to be able to highly compartmentalize ourselves and our lives. So in 3D earth, we may have struggled to experience freedom when it comes to loving our physical body, nurturing our physical body, being free and unrestricted with our physical body. And yet we may have been able to really push ourselves in the workplace and experience a measure of abundance financially. So whereas in this example, in 3D earth, we could compartmentalize physical health, vitality, bodily acceptance, freedom within our physical body. We could separate that abundance from, let's say, career abundance or financial abundance. We are no longer able to separate in the same way, to compartmentalize in the same way, because in 5D earth, everything is connected, meaning abundance is an energy. And therefore, in order to attract abundance into our life, whether that is an abundance of physical bodily confidence and self-love, an abundance of positive interaction and loving experiences with others, an abundance of fulfilling romantic love and connectedness, an abundance of financial prosperity, an abundance of positive attention for our creative endeavors, the art that we are creating, the work that we are doing in the world. All of these things hold the potential to carry an energy of abundance or restriction of that abundance that we then call lack mentality. And in 5D earth, what we're finding is that in order to be truly holistically abundant in mind, body, soul, we have to cultivate abundance at all levels, layers, and in all areas of our lives, meaning we have to fully allow ourselves to be free, whatever that means for you. And just telling yourself that can actually be an introspective exercise, because as we shift into 2023, you can ask your innermost self, in what ways am I still restricting myself, conditioning myself from my own self-love? Telling myself, when this happens, you can love yourself. When you make X amount of money, you're going to be worthy. When you lose X amount of weight, you're going to be worthy. When your body looks this way, you're going to be worthy of love. In what ways am I personally restricting that energy of abundance by buying into a limiting belief system around my own worthiness? And the beautiful thing is that once we release these conditions to our own self-love, we actually become incredibly energetically powerful, and therefore we can then very quickly and effortlessly allow our desires into our life. Because this isn't to say that when we are asking ourselves how we're restricting our own self-love, that we are somehow restricting or denying ourselves our specific goals, dreams, what we desire to be like, to look like, to achieve, to attract. It's that we are releasing ourselves from all of the conditions that have actually restricted the flow of our own powerful energy. And as we open up that energetic flow within ourselves through increased abundance mentality, through increased self-love, we actually begin to attract all of those very things that we may have desired and really conditioned our own self-love to in the past. I know that this is a really high level kind of conversation, but I feel that many of you have been co-creating, bringing forth some of these messages. I'm just hearing over and over, allow yourself to be loved, allow yourself to be worthy as you are, grant yourself total freedom, and you will achieve everything that your heart truly desires. And along with this, we have the sacral chakra card in the reverse position, because what I'm picking up as well is that there may be many of you who have, in the year of 2022, felt as though if you are someone who is very creative, working on some type of creative project, or desiring to do or to be something in this world, maybe this is a dream that you've been holding on to for a really long time. But I'm getting that for many of us in 2022, that creative energy, that inspiration may have felt a bit unstable, meaning you may have had a lot of highs and lows, especially for those of you who are channeling your energy into something creative. So if you are a creative by nature, you may have had times in this year where you felt like you were just on fire with passion, with inspiration, with enthusiasm. You may have had other moments where you felt intensely stuck. I'm hearing writer's block. So you may have had times where you felt as though you were unable to feel inspired or to create, or just feeling very stuck. And I'm getting that in 2023, things are going to start really stabilizing for you, especially creatively speaking. I feel like you're going to come into this intensely consistent and constant creative state of being. I'm also hearing that for some of you listening, there is some dominant dream of your life. I almost see this being metaphorically like a child you are giving birth to, except instead of a physical child, this is something you are breathing life into. This might be a book, this might be a business, this could be some kind of creative project or endeavor. And it feels like for whoever I'm speaking to here, this is something that has been in process for a long time, but it's now ready to fully come forth into physical reality. And I'm hearing, whatever this is, what you're really doing is channeling energy into this creative project or this endeavor. This is actually something that you, through your energy, are breathing life into. And in fact, this project itself is actually an extension of your own energy field. It is a part of you as much as an arm or a leg, because it is a product of your own beautiful energy, a culmination of everywhere you've been in this earth so far, in this life. Everything you've been through has been preparing you to breathe life into this thing and to bring it into full form. Now, for some of you, you may know specifically what this is for you. For others of you, this might be more of a vague sense that there's something that you came here to be or to do or to create. And I just keep hearing that you're going to be really strongly aligned with a sense of constant creativity and also clarity around something to do with this project or this idea or this thing, this business, whatever it is that you are meant to bring to life in full force this year. And I'm hearing you have the universe backing you on this. There is this consistent creative life force energy that is behind you because you've done the inner work required in order to carry that energy. And of course, so synchronistically, I pulled the Rumi Oracle card here, Passion for Purpose. It's the number 2 card as well. And many of you may be connecting with the number 222. You may be someone who's experienced a lot of intense things with a counterpart soul or a twin flame. And maybe some of these experiences awakened you or illuminated you or somehow activated you to this spiritual purpose or project that you are now coming into full alignment with. So, wow, with that being said, I'm going to channel one final message from the Rumi Oracle. Now, if you are resonating with this reading so far, first of all, thank you, because we are all co-creators here in this time and space on YouTube. So these messages are being brought forth through your powerful presence here and the energetic frequency you are bringing to the table here, so to speak. Secondly, if you would like to join me to co-create further, to channel more in depth on these messages and to pull forth more pieces of information from the reading, we will, after this Rumi message, be heading over together to the extended reading on Patreon. I do channel Patreon readings 3 times per week on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, exclusively for our community there, our soul tribe we're creating on Patreon together. So if you would like more in-depth messages, pieces of information, we will also be channeling more into the potential karmic situations, relationships, or patterns you've let go, as well as that love. I'm hearing divine love that you are shifting into, and most importantly, that self-love that's actually attracting the external manifestations of divine love to you into your reality. More of that will be channeled through that extended reading, as well as more details from the reading and messages from your spirit guides and higher self. So all of the information for that extended reading is in the pinned comment and description box under this video. So let's go ahead and close this reading with a message from the Rumi Oracle. Love, like life, flows through the heart. Feel the thrill of the flow and say nothing. Rumi. And the guidebook also says, do you yearn to find your way, to fulfill your divine destiny, to know the purpose for your presence within this sacred body of the Earth Mother? Your heart is questing for deeper meaning. It desires certainty as to your sacred tasks for this lifetime. Your heart wants to know why you were born, for what purpose. You must know that the answer to these questions is love. I bring you your answer straight from the heart of the universe. Be wild with your passion. Do that which stirs your soul, even when it makes you uncomfortable, especially then. For what is being truly alive, if not a decision to open instead of resisting, to be wild rather than comfortable, so that at any moment we will be ready for the invitation of the divine beloved to come closer? What stirs the passions of your nature? Do that. Be that. So I really hope this reading resonated with you in some way. I'm just now seeing the numbers 3333 on the recording timer, so that feels like a very aligned place to close this reading. If anything here did connect with you, I invite you to leave a comment under the video and let me know. Also, feel free to subscribe to this channel, join our beautiful community of like-minded, conscious, creative beings here on YouTube. You can also follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. We'll now be diving deeper into these messages in the extended reading on Patreon. For those of you feeling guided to the extended version of the reading, it is linked in the pinned comment and description box under the video. Otherwise, I am sending you so much love, wishing you the most beautiful start to your fresh new year of 2023. Have a wonderful day, and I will talk to you again in Wednesday's reading.